Hello, hello, and welcome back to Hitman 3 and the 7 Deadly Sins DLC pack. And today we cover Sloth, set in Dartmoor, England.
Hello, 47. Waiting for your taskmaster? Well, she's not here. It's just you and I. I've been watching you, and frankly, it's been exhausting. Work, work, work. Oh, it's all you do. Well, you're in my hands now, and I'm going to show you the joy of taking it easy for once. By making it hurt when you don't. Your energy is finite, 47. So spend it wisely.
So, for this escalation, we have a restricted loadout, which means we can also not change disguise, and movement costs us energy. So, we have to be very careful about what we do. We have a jogger here, which is an optional extra, but she will restore some vitality, so it's a good idea to take her out. And our main and primary target here is the gardener, who has to be killed with a thrown object or thrown weapon. So, right from the start, level 1, our target is directly ahead of us inside of the church. We start in the graveyard area and the church area. So we're just going to slowly and casually crouch walk our way up to the window here. And the gardener will make his way outside, and as you can see there, going through a window is quite energetic and depletes your vitality a little bit. But we're going to pass right through the church and into the bushes on the far side, collecting the shuriken on the way. Now, throughout this escalation you will find these snail shells with weapons and useful tools all around. They're all over the place. Some of them are useful, some of them are not. The shuriken is useful. So once we've waited here for some considerable time, our target will make his way over. And when he does, we can throw that shuriken in his head and leave his body there. We're going to collect up the shuriken, and then we're going to make our way into the church again and out through the other side, which will be to our right. And what we're going to do now is hang a quick left. We want to get behind this gardener and around to our left here without being spotted. Now you can go over the wall, but of course that uses up energy. So we're going to make our way over to the shredding machine here and collect the brick along our way. And we're just going to take out this gardener, because getting rid of him will be very beneficial. So we're going to throw the brick at the back of his head just as he bends down is ideal. We're going to quickly run up and grab his body, and when I say run I do mean crouch walk, and we're just going to leave him here by this IBC. So next up we've got another little wait ahead of us, and we're just going to wait at the foot of this wall here for the funeral director to leave this area. And there is another gardener right over in the far corner. We need to make sure he's got his back to us as well, which he does. So we're going to hop up the wall, approach the podium and collect the screwdriver, and then we're going to head off around to our right, and we're going to take out our next target, who is the patrolling guard right here. We're going to throw the screwdriver at his head. We're going to go round that wall so we don't expend too much energy. We're going to quickly grab this guy and drag him into the bushes behind us, and we will retrieve our screwdriver. We need the screwdriver for our next kill. So once we have the screwdriver, we don't need it for our next kill, because our next kill is going to be the jogger who is running around the mansion. Now this can be quite tricky, so what we're going to do is vault over the wall here, and we're going to collect the sniping rifle that's just on this snail right here, make our way to our right and into the bushes, and we're just going to wait right here. There is a lot of waiting around for the whole escalation in general, but since we're supposed to be moving slowly anyway, as we're considered sloths, we can wait around. So what we're waiting for is the jogger to run in front of those bushes over there, and we can either, if you're a good shot, shoot her straight into the bushes, or if you're a bad shot like me, shoot to distract her. She will stop running and then you can shoot her into the bushes, and she will restore most of your vitality. So at this point we're going to move on to our next target, who has since been highlighted, and it is the funeral director, and we're going to kill him with an accident kill. So we're going to go back into the bushes where we've hidden our guard, or our second target I believe he was, and we're going to wait for the funeral director to make his way back to the grave site. So he's going to finish his cigarette there, and he's going to go over to the portrait and make some notes, and then he's going to make his way back over to the graveyard area. And when he does, we're going to go right over to where he's just stood. So once he's nice and clear, everybody else has their backs to us, we're going to make our way over here, and on the floor we will find a plug socket in a puddle, and we're going to sabotage the plug socket, make our way around to the wall and over this wall, and we're just going to wait on the other side of this wall here for the gardener ahead of us. You can see by that snail. We're just going to wait for him to have his cigarette break and go back to work, and then we're going to make our way around the corner to our left and into a bush. In the meantime, while we're doing all of this, the funeral director has made his way through his routine, and he's now back outside of the church area. There he is. And when he comes back to the portrait, he will stand right next to that puddle. He won't stand directly in it, but when we turn on the generator, he will make a step forward and he will electrocute himself. Something like this. So with him taken care of, we're going to turn that generator off so we don't catch anyone else. All that's left for us to do now is to make good our escape. So we're once again just going to wait for the gardener to go back to work, and then we're going to make our way to the bushes just ahead of us on the right, and just beyond these bushes is our exit. So to get many of the bonus features in the challenges, I believe you need to finish these levels on a certain percentage of vitality, which I have failed to do on a number of these videos. I do get a few of them, but not all. So moving on to level 2, and essentially what we're going to be doing is exactly the same thing, except our target has changed and our location has changed. And we will be taking out the jogger once again.
How did you like your first taste of negative reinforcement? Did you learn your lesson yet? Or are you just that much of a masochist?
So, right from the start of level 2, we are going to stand up and crouch down, and we're going to make our way over to the bushes you can see just ahead of us. We're going to go right through these bushes, and on the far side we will find a tree stump with an axe embedded in it. We're going to collect up that axe, make our way back to the rear of the greenhouse, and as you can see, the target, our first target, has just made his way into the greenhouse, so we need to hurry to follow him in. I'm a little bit behind schedule, but once we're safely inside and he's against the desk, we can throw the axe at his head, and that will get us our thrown weapon kill. And our next 3 targets all have to be killed in accidents, so we're going to make our way back out of the greenhouse, around to our right and out to the very edge of the map here, and we're going to wait right behind this rock, and we're waiting for the bodyguard to finish his cigarette and make his way down the stairs. So once he does that, we are going to advance as slowly but as quickly as we can to this snail directly ahead of us and grab the car battery, and we are going to make our way down the same stairs that the bodyguard went down, and at the bottom of the stairs we're going to throw our car battery on the floor there. We're going to quickly turn around and turn on the tap and create a puddle, and hopefully either the puddle or the car battery will attract the attention of our bodyguard. We're going to turn that tap off again now. If it doesn't, and it doesn't attract anyone else's attention, turn off the tap and we'll move on, and eventually the bodyguard will come along and electrocute himself just like he has now. But for me, he came back to investigate, and we managed to get our electrocution kill in a little bit early. So once we have that taken care of, our next target will be the photographer. So we're going to crouch walk our way around to the photographer's area, and the photographer is going to frequent an area where there's a pond. Now if you want, you could poison him. There is some lethal poison along this route, but I can't quite remember exactly where, and you could poison his glass. But as I don't have the poison, we're going to make our way around to this pond area. We're going to turn off that radio, then turn it back on again, before moving on back towards the outer edge of the map. And out here we will find another shell with a sniping rifle. We're going to quickly grab that sniping rifle and make our way back to the radio, and as you can see in the distance, the radio has distracted one of the housekeeping staff, and if we're quick enough we can get behind him, render him unconscious. We're going to hide his body in the crate provided. All of this expends a lot of vitality, but once we've got him safely tucked up we can go back to moseying around at a leisurely pace. So we're going to make our way around the far side of the pond area, and we're going to stop right about here, and we're going to wait here for the photographer to make his way into this area, and he will stand at the foot of the pond, and all we have to do is follow him in and push him in when he stops walking. So here he comes now. So we're going to follow him in, and when he stops we can just push him straight into the pond for another accident kill. So that's 2 more targets down. We have 2 more targets to go. Our next target is one of the housekeeping staff, and she is up by the mansion or the house itself. And all we've got to do is make our way up the stairs. We're going to wait behind this plant here. She's just got into the perfect position for us, so we're going to sneak up behind her, render her unconscious, and you may notice we are starting to run out of vitality. So we're just going to drag her unconscious body next to the plant here and throw her over the ledge for our final accident kill. We're going to take a step back from the ledge, or a few steps back, around about here will be fine. We don't need to crouch down. I just felt like it would be a better option for us. And what we're doing now is that we're waiting for the jogger to make her way past. Now we're going to take her out when she gets past these 2 guards you will be just seeing coming into view around about now. So where she stops there, you can't see the guards until I actually stand up. There they are. So once she's past the guards, she's going to run on, and it's at this point I will demonstrate my absolutely legendary bad shooting. But all we need to do is at this point, where that dead tree is, there's a huge rock there as well. That is the ideal spot to take her out, because even though we don't hide her body, no one will see her. So with her taken care of, our vitality has been restored somewhat and locked. So all we can do now is run to the nearest exit. We don't have to worry about being slow anymore. So moving on to level 3, And I have to give a big shout out to Mr. Freeze 2244 for the method for this one, because my method was just not working. I tried to go a completely different way and it didn't work. So for the most part we will be following his routine, which was far more efficient. And this time round, like I said, we will be in the mansion area. So once again, a big shout out to Mr. Freeze 2244 for this one.
Back for more. I'm not sure you're truly taking my message to heart. Well, it's your life.
So right from the very start, we're going to get up and make our way around to our right here, and we're going to collect up this newspaper that's on the side just before we go through the door. That will come in handy later on. We're then going to go through the doors and collect up this letter opener, which will also come in handy very much later on. And then we're going to sneak past this enforcer here and around behind him, where we will find a little shell with a lockpick. And just beyond that we will find this cane. We're going to pick up both of them and then sneak our way back around the corner the same way we came. We're then going to use the cane to access the secret passageway, and we can then make our way around the building. I did originally try going the other way, but you just run out of energy because you have so much to do. So we're just going to go through the secret doorway, through the passage, through the next room, into the room beyond. In here we will find one guard, and if he's at the window we can then just pass straight through this room as well. Into the next room, the guy at the window here will be a target later on, but in the meantime, for now, we're just going to grab this banana from the table, make our way into the corridor beyond, and you can see an enforcer ahead of us, and we need to get rid of him. And you'll notice as we follow him, when he moves to go away to the window, we're going to make our way round. You'll see a shell. We're going to throw our cane at the guard's head. We're going to grab the silenced Uzi, make our way out onto the balcony and grab the sniping rifle, and then we're just going to wait basically right here, and we're going to drop a chandelier on our target, who is the butler, I believe. So if you look through the scope, you will see 2 chains for 2 chandeliers. We want to shoot the one on the right once Mr. Farnsby is underneath it. So once we have done that, we're going to then aim at the bone chandelier, and very shortly after that you will see our next target, who has to be killed with an accident, goes and stands under that chandelier, so we can just drop that chandelier on him. We're then going to make our way back into the room where we collected the banana, and the gentleman at the window in that room will be our next target. Just be aware of the bodyguard over on the stairs if he isn't alerted by the chandelier dropping. You may have to avoid his gaze. But once we're back in this room, we can just walk up behind the lawyer, I believe it is, and push him out the window. Now the bonus about that is that the jogger will come along and find his body. It is an accident kill, so it won't affect your assassin rating, but it will stop her jogging, which is quite important. In the meantime, we're going to make our way out of the room where we killed the lawyer, around to our right, over the banisters, up the stairs, and we're just going to hang to the left here and wait here. And while we're here, we're going to select our banana, and in the distance you can see a housekeeping staff member, just as the jogger has found the lawyer's body. So when the housekeeping staff member moves over to the right, we're going to go over to the table she was just at, and we're going to place our banana on the floor around about there somewhere, and make our way into the changing rooms of Mrs. Carlyle. And in here we're going to select the newspaper we collected right at the start, and we're going to use that newspaper to knock out the housekeeping member in the bedroom. we're going to very quickly select our letter opener and eliminate our next target, which is the female housekeeping staff member in the bedroom. We can leave their bodies right there. We're just going to check on instinct. Yes, the banana has worked on the housemaid outside. So we're going to wait outside the study here for the target ahead of us. You can see he's going to move over to the right, and the guard who is on the left will move closer to us, putting him at the foot of the stairs. Now when they're in that position, we can then open the door and very quickly make our way up the stairs and out onto the balcony upstairs. If you keep moving, no one will spot you. Everybody almost spots you, or spots you a little bit, but not enough for them to get alerted by it. So once we're out on the balcony, around to our left here, you'll see we're getting very low on vitality at this point. So we're going to select our sniping rifle, and as you can see, because the jogger found the body, she has decided not to jog it anymore. So she's going to walk on the same route, stopping in the same places, but she's just going to walk the route this time. So we're going to take this opportunity to line up our shot with the sniping rifle. We're aiming at that big old rock ahead of us down there. So here is the jogger now. She is just going to walk up and stop behind these two guards briefly. And when she moves on and gets near to that rock with the dead tree next to it, or in front of it, we can then take our shot, and hopefully it takes less shots this time. So she's going to make her way along. You could try and shoot her into those bushes there, but I was a bit worried that she would be a bit too close to those guards. They may suspect something. But over here is just fine. There's no one else who goes in this area. So once she gets to the rock, we're going to miss our first shot and kill her with the second. So we don't want to throw away our sniping rifle just yet. We're going to keep that. We're going to vault over the banister just to our left and as quickly as possible down the drain pipe, because we're expending a lot of energy. So once we're down here, we need to wait once again, and again we're just waiting for everyone to be in the right position. And what we're going to do is drop our sniping rifle on the floor, and we're going to get rid of that guard over by the balcony there. So he is now moved away, which is kind of what we want, but he is facing us, and our target has just moved away. So what we want to do is drop that sniping rifle somewhere where the guard will see it, but not too obvious, because we can be seen by people through the windows. Now that guard will bring that sniping rifle this way. I wasn't expecting him to do that, so we're going to subdue him very quickly around the corner. Every other time I've been practicing this, he's gone into the building. This time he did not. So we're going to use up a lot of energy, and we're going to hide his body in the crate provided. There we go, but we don't have to worry about him. So making sure we're crouched down, we're going to reselect the sniping rifle off the floor, and when our target moves away, we want to put the sniping rifle somewhere out on the balcony where he might see it, and near to the edge as possible. Now that isn't close enough, so unfortunately when he comes back and we open that door, he won't see it. So there is a solution to this, which we will get to, but I will show you the failure first of all. So when the guard comes back this way and starts getting relatively close, we're going to open the doors and move away very quickly, or as quickly as not running allows us. So there we go. So I'm expecting him to spot the gun around about now and move forward to get it, but he doesn't. So what we're going to do is, just off screen right now to our right are a pair of shears. There they are. So we're going to grab those shears and we're going to rinse and repeat what we just did, but when we open the door we're going to throw the shears just to get the guard's attention, and he will, or our target's attention, and he will then come out and then see the sniping rifle. I'm sure there are better ways of doing this. I'm certain Mr. Freeze 2244 has a much more succinct way of doing this, but I couldn't for the life of me remember how he finished the level. So as the guard makes his way over, we're going to open the doors, throw the shears. That should get the guard's attention. When he goes out, he's then going to spot the sniping rifle on the floor, and when he goes in to collect that, we can then get behind him and render him unconscious. We don't have to kill him with an accident kill, but it does help. So once we've rendered him unconscious, we can then throw his body over the ledge, and that is the end of the level. We don't have to worry about saving energy any longer, and we now have a choice of exits, one above us and one below us. We're going to take the exit above us, so we're going to go back up the drain pipe into the building and into our exit, and so ends level 3. So that has been the Sloth Escalation. Once again, a big thanks out to Mr. Freeze 2244 for his help with that one. I have been Anubis, and I will see you all in the next video.